Who's this? Hi, everybody. Got a new segment of our virtual tour, and we are starting with this princess. Hi. This is Raven. What's wrong? Is no one feeding you? She's really hoping somebody will bring her.
She says you're in the way of her TV.
Oh, am I in the way of your TV? Oh, yeah. We've got TV. So, why, you ask, is there a big cat with a princess bedroom and a TV? Well, Raven's a really special girl. So Raven is the oldest cat here at Care. She's going to be 23 years old this summer, which is really, really, really old for a leopard. And she has a lot of special needs. So she was moved out of her regular enclosure into the vet center. We've seen the vet center. She was moved there a couple years ago because she's got pretty advanced arthritis and she's got some joint problems. And it was just really hard for her to get up and down from the ramps and platforms that we have in the regular leopard enclosures. So she was moved to an area that would be safer for her. And since Care is closed to the public and not just tour groups, but our regular volunteers are not coming out, she is not getting as much interaction from people as she used to get, and she has become very lonely. So, in order to make her a little happier, she has gotten to move into the sunroom. Now, the sunroom is a room that was built about 5-6 years ago when we had two lions who you will meet later, Raleigh and Zubiri. When they were young, about 5 or 6 months old, they were diagnosed with a condition called wobblers. We'll talk more about that later, but this sunroom was built specifically for them so that they could get the care that they needed and would get the benefit of all these windows, which gave them vitamin D and allowed them to look outside. Since then, it has been a nursery for young animals that we've had come in. It's been a recovery room for lemurs that needed some extra care and got sick. It's been a recovery room for animals that have had surgery and needed extra care. And it's even been a hospice area for animals at the end of their life. And it's really close to our executive director and founder's home. It's adjacent to her home, so she can be in here often and give the animals a little extra TLC. So now Raven gets to be in the sunroom, and she gets heat in here. She has all her beds, lots of soft places to lay down. She gets to be high enough to where she can look out the windows and look outside. And she also has an outdoor area, so she can go outside anytime that she wants, and I'll go out there and show you her outdoor area. But she is getting all the luxuries that we can provide her, and she is loving every last minute of it. And there's, just so you know, there's a fence here that goes she has twinkly lights for her princess bedroom, but she can't get out, but she is very comfy in there. Now, I told you earlier when we were talking about Milo that even black leopards have spots, and you can kind of see now on her back end her spots. Hi, Ray. Hi, pretty girl. All right, well, it's her dinner time, so she's gonna get fed here, and I'm gonna go out and show you her outdoor area. And this is Raven's outside, so she can come out right there. She goes, we had to build around the dirt because there was no grass over here, And then she can come out here and be in the grass and underneath the tree. And she's got, of course, another bed out here. So, a little unconventional for our Raven, but she is so happy being up near the house around people right now. And at her age, you know, will do whatever she wants. And she gets to sit out here and watch the llamas, who you can see over there. We haven't met them yet, but there's one llama, there's the other llama. She gets to watch the llamas and the dogs. That's Bubs. He would very much like Raven to come out so he can say hi. And that's Gibson. That's it. That's the sunroom. That's where Raven's staying now. All right. Ray got dinner. So because of her age, she gets cut up meat. Makes it easier for her to eat. And typically with the cats, they don't get fed every day. So we kind of replicate how they would eat in the wild. The lions and tigers get fed every 4 days, because in the wild they wouldn't have a successful hunt every single day. And usually they're hunting pretty big animals, so they make a kill and then they eat on that for a couple days, and then it may be another couple days before they eat again. So we replicate that. It's called a fasting diet. And then the leopards and mountain lions typically get fed every other day. The bobcats get fed every day, as well as Kevin the serval and Malika the lynx, who you haven't met yet. And our oldest cats and our special needs cats get fed daily as well. So she gets fed every day. And nice old lady sized chunks. Uh-oh. You can see a little bit how she's standing right here. Her shoulders are kind of bowed out. That's why she can't have anything really tall to climb on, because if she jumps off, she could really hurt herself. But she's a leopard, so she still likes to climb up on stuff, so we just give her really low stuff to climb up on. Is that good, Ray? All right. We'll let her finish her dinner. So we have an upside down tiger over here. And then another very snoozy tiger up there. So that's Archie up there. And that's his sister, Allie. Alley cat over there, being adorable. Allie and Archie are both some of our older cats. They are 18 years old. So, again, that's getting up there. So in captivity, even though tigers in the wild, like I mentioned before, we're being told, new data says that they only usually live 8 to 10 years in the wild. In captivity, if they're well taken care of, can certainly live to mid, late teens, even into their 20s. but usually not very far past their early 20s, and that's still pretty rare. Usually mid to late teens. So they are definitely up there in age, and they are very snoozy today. Hi, Allie. So usually if a male and female are together, typically the male is the more dominant of the two, but that is not the case with these guys. Archie is a bit submissive to Miss Allie over there. She is the boss. She wears the pants in the family. It's pretty funny. They're an older couple, so they argue sometimes, but they also can be incredibly sweet to one another. They curl up and cuddle with each other. I think I'm gonna go over there and try get Allie more up close because she's just gorgeous. And that noise was our refrigerator kicking on. We have a big outdoor refrigerator. That's where we keep food for the cats. Alley cat. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl. Oh no, you want to go back to sleep? She says it's too bright out here. So this is actually nice to see her belly. They just ate, by the way, so their bellies are very full. Big cat stomachs are made to expand a lot because they don't get fed every day like we talked about with Raven. They eat every 4 days, so they eat a whole lot all at once, and their bellies need to be able to grow bigger to hold all that food. So the day that after they eat, they look like they swallowed a blow-up ball with all the food that's packed into their bellies. Hi, pretty girl. And then over the course of the next couple days, their stomachs shrink. They also tend to be a lot lazier the day after they eat, and they get more active as the days go on. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the times here, if you see the cats pacing, they don't pace usually unless it's feeding day, and when it's feeding day they start pacing because they get all excited because they know that they're gonna get fed. But they just ate, so not gonna see a whole lot of activity from these guys today. They're in a food coma. And tigers do eat grass, just like dogs do. They do it to settle an upset stomach, to help with digestion, sometimes just because they like to. Is that grass good? All right. Good girl, Allie. Archie didn't wake up the whole time. Arch! Arch, Arch! Archie! Nope. Not gonna do it. It's okay, he can sleep, he's allowed. All right, bye guys. Oh, he did turn upside down though, and that's pretty cute. All right, bye guys. Okay, we're gonna see if I'm gonna be able to get some video of him without him running up to the fence. Oh, he's eating. He's eating on a bone. Good, he might stay there. So this handsome guy, his name is Ezra, or we call him Ezzy. Ez. He's busy with his bone. As I mentioned before, they just got fed yesterday, so today they're still eating the rest of their food. And then we'll go in and clean everything up. And then another day, they'll be ready to eat again. But Ezra, he's a young guy. He's about 3 years old. I think he's actually about to turn 3. Or just turned 3. And so we got a call from Texas Parks and Wildlife. They had confiscated Ezra and had asked a zoo in South Texas to hold him temporarily while they pursued legal action. And it was only supposed to be for like a couple weeks, and then they were going to find him, somewhere to live permanently. But it ended up being a whole lot longer. The case just took a little mouth. The case just took a lot longer than they thought. So he was down there in at the zoo for longer than he was supposed to be. So finally, they reached out and asked if we would give him a home while they wrapped things up. And once the case was wrapped up, then we would have him permanently. So our executive director and founder, Heidi, she drove down to South Texas and picked him up. And he was under a year old. He was still a big guy, but he was under a year old when she picked him up. She brought him back. And he was just the best boy. He did so good on a very long drive. And he is another one that is a favorite of a lot of people because there's something about him that just makes you fall in love with him. He went through a lot. He had a really, really tough time. The early part of his life was not easy. He went through a lot of changes. But he managed to still be able to trust people. He trusted us. And it's really incredible sometimes how these animals have the ability to not let things break them, to not let things make them angry forever. They're very resilient. But you can hear him going to town on that bone. Fortunately, you can't see it because it probably doesn't look very pretty. By the sound of it, though, it sounds like it's pretty much all bone now. Whoa. You just cracked a piece off of it. Ezzy! Ez! So Ezra, you haven't met the 2 other tigers that I'm going to talk about yet, but you will. He is going to move with 2 male tigers, Slade and Boomer, to the new enclosures that we're building. And we're building 3 separate enclosures that are going to be side by side. Boomer and Slade are brothers. And they actually, even though we haven't introduced them, they're right over here. And these enclosures over here. They are brothers. They are separated, but and Ezra, of course, is separated from them. But Ezra and Slade have become best buddies and like love each other. So all three of them are going to move into these enclosures that are right next to each other. And then we're going to shuffle cats around, move some cats around. Noelle the lioness. Uh-oh. Noelle the lioness will go into this enclosure. And she used to be in this enclosure a long time ago, and she loves this tree so much, so that's why we're going to move her back in here. Because she doesn't need all the space that she's got, and we're going to move two other cats that are more active and just need a bigger space over to where she is. So we determine what enclosures cats go into based on their individual needs. Their age, they get less active as they get older, so the older cats usually don't need as much room as some of the younger cats do. If there's just one cat or there's multiple cats, usually it's not full now because it's still cold outside, but once it gets warmer, that pool will have water in it. Usually tigers get the enclosures with pools because tigers love getting in water, where lions do not. We look at different things like what's in the enclosure, who their neighbors are going to be. Some cats like moving around. They think it's interesting to be in a new spot around other newer, at least new to them, animals, new neighbors. Other cats, that is really stressful for them. So the cats that enjoy moving or aren't bothered by moving, those are the cats that we typically move around to give them just a change of environment. The cats that are easily stressed by that, we don't move as often, or we only move if it's absolutely necessary. But Ezra doesn't mind moving. He's moved a couple times. But like Allie and Archie over there, they might have a hard time moving. Especially Archie. He doesn't like to go bye-bye. If it's really, really difficult to move a cat, if they will not go into a transport cage, that is a cage that is on wheels, that's how we move animals from one space to another. If they will not move easily, or if it is too stressful for them, then we will have to sedate them and move them. We don't like to sedate animals unless we absolutely have to, because the drugs that they use to sedate them can be really dangerous. If the exact right amount isn't used, it can even potentially kill them. So we don't like to do that unless we have to. All right, well, Ezra is typically a little bit more social than this, but he is very busy with his bone. So we're gonna let him finish his bone. But thank you, Ezra, for being a good boy and letting us join you. Not all cats will do that. Some of them do not like you being around while they have food, which is understandable. But we'll sign off for this segment. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when new virtual tour segments are up. Follow our social media to stay up with what the cats are doing. And go to our website to learn more about any of the animals that you met today. And we thank you for joining us. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time.